Hey guys, it's your girl Shonna Etienne, and I'm super excited to be able to talk to you guys today about a very, very important topic. I want you guys to think about the word Terre Haute. Many of you guys probably never even heard of Terre Haute, which is a federal prison. And oftentimes when we think about federal prison, we think of some of the most deadliest crimes. When I think of Terre Haute, what comes to mind for me is names like Timothy McVeigh, who is the Oklahoma City bomber from 1995 who was sentenced to death. That's pretty horrific. Or I think of names like Drew Peterson. Some of you guys may not have remember Drew Peterson, but he was the previous police officer or sergeant who was convicted in 2004 for killing his third wife, Kathleen Savio. And in 2007, he was named as a suspect in the disappearance of Stacy Peterson. Does that ring a bell to you? Or a name like Dylan Roof, which is familiar to many of you guys. Dylan Roof was the white supremacist who was convicted in 2016 for the mass shooting of a Charleston, South Carolina AME church, which 9 Black Christians were killed. When we think of a name like Terre Haute, we think about these kind of people because in all actuality is a prison who has security for some of the most horrific crimes that has happened in America. When I think of Terre Haute, I don't expect to meet someone like Bruce Buckner. Bruce Buckner is an author of his book where he wrote regarding Terre Haute prison, his experience. I've come to realize that Bruce Bruckner and people like Bruce Bruckner may have been put in a prison system that was inappropriate for their crimes. But nonetheless, what Bruce did, most people haven't had the opportunity to do. And what he did was turn his life around for the better. And now, after serving his sentence at Terre Haute, Bruce Buckner has been on a mission to transform the life of many adolescents to try to prevent them from actually spending any time in prison. I want you guys to take a look at this clip that I have of Bruce Bruckner so you too can get to know who he is. I want us to really think about what his message is because his message is not that much different from a lot of people who find themselves in prison for not so much of bad crimes, but because they happen to be the wrong income, be of the wrong income level, and they happen to be of the wrong color. So just take a look at this clip with my interview with Bruce Bruckner.
In my childhood, I grew up with my mother, a single parent mother, in Haynes Garden Apartments in Nashville, Tennessee. And while I was growing up, my mama, she used to sell weed, so my mama was hustling too, and it always been like a lot of thugs running out the house. Like for instance, like the thugs, they'll probably rob somebody and come to my mother's house, pay her to cook, and you know what I mean, playing with me and stuff of that nature.
Wait, back up. You said the thugs will rob somebody and then come to your mother's house to eat?
Yeah, they'll go to the grocery store and bring the groceries to my mother because she know how to cook. And they used to bring the groceries to my mother's house, and the family members used to always want to take me away from my mother because the environment I was in, it was like a hostile environment. It wasn't good for me. I ended up moving with my father at 10. That was the first time I didn't stay with my mother. I ended up going to my father's house because I ain't never seen him until I was 10 years old. And he ended up wanted to get acquainted with me. He wanted to get to meet me. And that was my first time without living with my mother. That only lasted like 8 months though. Cause my dad, he used to smoke crack. He was a junkie.
Okay. So your mother was a hustler. Your father was an addict. And this is the environment you grew up in.
Yes.
So did you ever spend time in foster care or anything like that?
No, I had been in state custody when I was 14 in 2002. I turned to the street at 13 with I moved with my auntie, and all of my homies, they was already in the streets hustling. And one day this guy he give me a down rock. He was like, he go a down rock, Bruce said it. So I get the rock. I got the rock for like hours because I couldn't remember the customers coming to the street. Cause all my friends, they were running up to him. And I was out there slow a little bit. And after some months, I eventually get good at it. And the first time I go to state custody was when I was with my homie. And he had a car. He had carjacked the car, but I'm not knowing. And he let me drive the car. And we ended up getting caught in the car like a week later. And by me being in trouble before, they sent me to state custody. What kept me running back to the streets was like, I was trying to be a man before I was really a man. And I wasn't learning from my mistakes. Like, far in school, when I was selling drugs, I used to be so ready to get home to my pack to go sell it that I didn't ever get to the home. I didn't ever like finish the homework. But then as I grew up, I done been to I went to CCA. I did CCA is like a mini prison. You can only do up to 3 years there. And the judge, he ended up giving me an 8-year sentence, an 8-year community correction.
Mhm.
Before then, and this was in 2005, but in 2004, I was on a kilo, like 1,008 grams, and I ended up catching a case where I was on the interstate like 1 in the morning, and I had 4 ounces of weed and 2 ounces of hard. We ended up getting pulled over. We ended up getting caught with it and make bond. So long story short, the judge give me an 8-year community correction. So with the 8-year community correction, I violated. I'm still trying to dib and dab in the streets.
Community correction. So that's like something that they do to try to prevent you from going to jail. It's like a intervention, like a intervention to keep you out of jail. Is that what that is?
It's a probation. It's like
Adjudication, like some type of probation system where if you finish X amount of time, then your record is clean.
Yeah, your record won't be clean, but like you won't go to jail. They like you gotta do stimulation, like 250 hours of community service. You gotta do 1 class a week. You gotta do a drug test 1 class a week. And by me trying to like beat the system, I try to sell drugs 3 days out the week and let my sister be clean for 4 days out the week. But it did, and I end up catching the dirty urine. And the judge gave me 1 year to complete a program called Therapeutic Community. And with this program, it was a hard program. I didn't graduate it. Like, you know, if you touch crack, it can get in your system. Like if you pick up a crack rock and selling it, it's getting in your system.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You like cook if you like say if you cook it too, you cooking it, it get in your system too.
Get out of here.
Serious.
Whoa. So that's what you mean when you said you was getting a dirty urine, because you kept handling the drug.
Yes. He gave me a year to complete the program. I didn't complete the program. So I go back to court because I ended up getting kicked out of the program. They were like, Buckner, we're gonna give you one more chance. Because you know if you don't graduate the program, you're gonna go to prison. Me not knowing, I'm like, they stopping me from going to prison because prison is a whole different world in there. I thought I was ready, but once I went there, I wasn't ready. So I ended up getting caught with a gun, and by me being a felon in possession of a weapon, I catch a federal case. Yeah, and this was in May 4th, 2010. I get caught with a gun. Then by me being on community correction, the judge said I was on community correction, which I thought it was a mistake. I go to state prison. I go to state prison for 39 months. That was one of the hardest times of my life. In November 2010, November 18th, the Fed picked my case up, my gun case up. Okay, they picked my case up, and I go to court for 4 months. in Bowling Green, Kentucky, which is a holding facility for federal inmates. I get my time, which was 30 months for a gun. It really supposed to be more, but I only had like one felony. And I go back to state prison. During that time, I'm thinking that the judge ran my sentence in with my state time, which he didn't. So in December the 23rd, 2013, I get released from state prison. The day I'm getting out, the U.S. Marshals is at the release place.
So when you got out of state prison, in your head, you was thinking, I'm done. I did my time. I'm not going back. And you get out, and then lo and behold, there are U.S. federal marshals waiting to transport you to federal prison, which is Terre Haute.
Yes.
And then that's how your time started here, correct?
Yes. Today at 7 o'clock, I'm going down to the juvenile detention center to speak to the youth again. And I'm volunteering, and I enjoy it because I feel like I'm helping some of the guys. Like, I donated some books to them, and they end up letting the guys read the books. And some of the inmates, they were like, Bruce, I never read that book. I never read a book all the way through my life, but I read your book, man. And they gave me a feeling that I really want. And I really like, and I really like that. I read a book on Steve Harvey. Said, if you're willing to do something for free, I mean, you really do something for free, you should pursue that, because I enjoy it so much. I enjoy working with the youth. I enjoy trying to help others change. Like, I feel like I can do this for the rest of my life.
Thank you guys so much for being able to listen to Bruce's story. I know that not everyone can relate to Bruce, but there's a lot of people out there that have been in Bruce's situation. And I wanted to just give attention to his story because not everyone who goes to prison, whether federal or state, are like these horrific criminals. Bruce surely isn't one of those horrific criminals, but nonetheless, I'm glad that he was able to use this time to better himself. He has obtained his high school diploma while in prison. He has written a book. He has published a book, and now he's actually employed at a publishing company. Not only has he done those things, but Bruce is dedicated and committed to transforming the lives of other juveniles who may have been on or who are on the same track that he was on when he was in his younger ages. So here he is, 32 years old, a Black man who has a criminal record, but he's not letting that deter him from living life out loud and living life to the fullest. So please support Bruce as he ventures onto prison after prison, detention center after detention center, speaking to other adolescents, helping them to transform their lives as well. Purchase this brother's book, follow him on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and just stay connected with him. He's somebody who's willing to grow, willing to teach, and it's a lot about Bruce that we can all learn from. I thank you guys for your continuous love and support. Please continue to watch the videos as I'm going to share more of Bruce's interview with me over time. Speak to you guys soon and have a great night.